Very warm morning to everyone. This is K.Geetha Swamy, Department of English, Government Arts College, Coimbatore. The topic which I am going to talk about is intellectual pretensions among the academicians through the novel Atom and the Serpent. Intellectual pretension is one of the worst features that one would come across in the education institution, and this defect in the educational system is ignored by the academicians and other officials. The novelist Premananda Kumar, in her novel Atom and the Serpent, brings out the hypocrisy of academicians and the various ways in which both students and teachers are exploited. The unethical practices adopted by the teachers of higher education institution and how they have neglected their duties towards students. The teachers who are responsible for the righteous behavior of the students are seen distracting and degrading their positions. Since through ages we consider that sacredness is associated with the educational institutions because it is the seat of learning. It is this place that promotes value to young minds and guides them towards the path of righteousness. Hence, it is stressed that educational institutions must be free from illegal and unethical practices. Thereby, it must be able to eradicate the corruption in the minds of the young people. There should be no favoritism or selfish impulses in educational institution, and the place must be ideal enough for the young students to acquire knowledge and to improve their manners. It goes without saying that every young individual enters the campus of learning with the mindset to achieve their goals and ambitions in his or her life. The reality is seen far fetched from this idealistic notion of education. The campus novelists have made it their goal to exhibit the harsh realities that exist in the educational system. Indian campus novelists, through their novels, bring out the differences that exist between the reality and the ideal notion and show how education has degraded to a state where unethical and corrupted practices are seen done by the students, teachers, and other academicians. The satirical writing in the campus novels has helped the novelist in bringing out the exploitation and victimization of campus inmates that happens in the premises of educational institutions. The campus inmates include students, teachers, and administrative staff members, and the exploitation that happen in the campus revolve around these three groups of people. The struggle for power is a common phenomenon that is seen occurring in the campus, and position the officials occupy based on the hierarchical position in the institution instigates greed and jealousy among the academicians. The campus novelists have projected the reality that teachers are also getting attracted towards money and fame. Thus, they highlight the instances of few teachers exploiting the students. Some cases there are students who take the advantage of teachers and make their situation favorable to them. The novel Atom and the Serpent by Premananda Kumar shows the various instances where students are exploited by the teachers in the education institution. The novelist brings out the selfish acts of teachers in campus who are stuck with the desire to acquire more power and money. One such selfish teacher portrayed in the novel is Professor Yagandharanya, a foreign returned professor working as a head of the atomic research department. Using his position to his advantage, he exploits his students monetarily as well as sexually. He is a lustful and academician who has no regards to his duties and responsibilities as a professor. He uses his unsophisticated foreign lifestyle and American ways of living to his advantage and attracts the students. He forgets that he has moral responsibility in guiding his students, and he asks his rich students to bear the expenses for his parties. Another professor, Sheila Rani, also exploits her students, and she has no guilt feeling for abandoning her duties and misguiding her students. She accepts expensive Banarsi saris as a gift from one of her students and acclaims those gifts as a small token of affection. The novelist Premananda Kumar brings out the painful situation of Indian educational system where students are pushed towards the path of destruction by their teachers. Through the acts of selfish professors like Professor Yana and Sheila Rani, the novelist highlights the degrading system of education in India. It is not the teachers who exploit the campus inmates alone. The students also take advantage of their teachers and try to make their things favorable for them. Professor Yana depends on Rajshekhar for monetary benefits. Using this to his advantage, Rajshekhar does not respect the professor and has no seriousness towards his studies. His lethargic behavior can seen through his way of quitting the seminar without prior information or permission in which he has to present a paper. Professor Yana is very much irritated by his act, but he does not make a big issue because he is also not serious about his work and he holds a seminar for namesake only. The novelist highlights the point that if the teacher exploits the students, students will take undue advantage on them and use for their own benefits. The novelist Premananda Kumar makes it apparent that the teachers who have the responsibilities to inspire their students with their behavior and imbibe moral cultural values within the young minds are seen fighting arrogantly and unethically over power and position in the campus. They have lost their sense of reason by their lust to acquire money and luxuries. These teachers involved in dirty politics, forgetting that they have students to look up to them. Amongst the teachers, Dr. Adhaksha has the potential to become a great teacher, but the corruption and jealousy of other teachers have reduced his passion to teach and become a role model for his students. He is regarded as a scholar in his subject and he can be a great professor in teaching history. Observing his attitude, the novelist remarks that a scholar was a memory while the politician has become the reality. His thoughts and behavior are completely influenced by the battle for power and goes inside the campus and in this mess he conveniently forgets his duty towards his students. Premananda Kumar, through her novel, has brought out the realistic picture of the Indian education system. She highlights the corruption and unethical practices that are common in the modern universities. The novelist has portrayed the corruption that prevails in the campus premises and also insists on the immediate changes that are supposed to be brought out in the educational system. Stephen Corner expresses that university is similar to a closed environment and it has its own norms and values, which is thick with the possibilities of intrigue. Hence, it has to be noted that educational institutions is not a divine place that is filled with sacred beings. The institution has human beings who are capable of having normal desires and wishes. Hence, it has to be realized that academy is a place filled with pretensions and hypocrisy because the academicians try to hide their obsessions towards power and money, but in reality, they do not try to abandon those obsessions. Thank you.